Welcome to me, Kamchi Yisrael. Our Pesukim read, V'chi tomru ma nochal b'shana hashvi'it. In Parashat Bamidbar, the Torah commands the mitzvah of Shemitah, the sabbatical year. When Am Yisrael steps back from working the land and places complete trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, naturally the question arises, what will we eat in the seventh year? The Torah offers not one answer, but two. The first is spiritual. Ve'achaltem l'savoa, you will eat and you'll be satisfied. Rashi explains that your inner system will be blessed. A small amount of food will be enough. Your body will feel full and your soul will feel calm. But just a few pesukim later, the Torah offers another blessing entirely. V'tziviti et bekati lechem b'shana hashishi v'asta et hatvua l'shalosh hashanim. Such an interesting second pasuk to delve into. I will command my blessing in the sixth year, and it will be sufficient for 3 full years. Why both? The Seforno teaches a profound truth. There are two types of Yehudim. There are those who live with quiet, unwavering emunah. They don't ask, they don't worry. They enter the seventh year with peace in their hearts because they trust. And then there are those who lie awake at night. How will I provide? How will I eat? What's going to happen to me? And to each, HaKadosh Baruch Hu responds in the way they need most. To the warrior, he sends visible abundance. To the one who believes without question, he offers a deeper, quieter gift, a soul that feels full, a calm heart, and a life of peace. Reb Zev Lev, the Rav of Moshav Matisyahu, shares a powerful mashal. A family has many children. One of them struggles emotionally, spiritually, and developmentally. Naturally, the parents spend more time with that child, not because they love him more, because he needs more. The stronger children, they get less attention, not out of neglect, but because they're doing just fine. So too with Hashem Yitbarach, the Yid, who cries, how am I going to survive, is given a bumper crop, a miracle. But the Yid who walks quietly with trust, he's given something greater, a blessing that lives within the heart. And sometimes the deepest emunah isn't loud or dramatic. It's an act of devotion, repeated in silence with no promise of outcome, except the quiet certainty that someone is listening. There was once a father who understood this truth in the most personal way. Yossi had once been a child full of light, bright, thoughtful, deeply connected to Torah and mitzvot, but slowly that light dimmed. Initially, it was a small, skipped beracha, a missed minyan, but then came days without tefillin, weeks without Shabbat, months without Kedusha. His parents, David and Sherry, were devastated. They built a home full of warmth and halacha, and now their son was slipping away. But they never gave up. There were no lectures, no shouting, only love. Quiet, unwavering, patient love. David prayed for him every night. Sherry whispered Tehillim through her tears, and eventually they turned to their Rav, desperate for guidance. And he offered one small suggestion: place a Netilat Yadayim bowl by his bed. It felt absurd. Yossi hadn't touched Tefillin in months. What would a bowl of water accomplish? But they went to Dat Torah, so they followed. Night after night, David climbed the stairs. He placed the bowl and cup beside his son's bed. He whispered a tefillah, and he walked away. Months passed. The water remained untouched until one morning. It was gone. David stepped into the room and stopped. The bowl was empty. Yossi was sitting on the edge of his bed, his shoulders trembling, his face was buried in his hands, and for a moment, David just stood there afraid to breathe, and then, barely above a whisper, he asked, Yossi, why did you use the Netilat Yadayim? Yossi lifted his eyes, tears were streaming down his face, his voice cracked, and then came the words that shattered the silence of 3 long months. Because if you haven't given up on me, Dad, then neither has Borei Olam. In that moment, the walls fell, the distance vanished, and a son came home. He looked up again, softer now, almost pleading, Abba, can you help me find my tefillin? Ladies and gentlemen, there is something sacred about a Jew who doesn't ask questions, who walks into darkness without fear, who trusts not because he understands, but because he remembers who is holding his hand. But sometimes a Jew forgets. He forgets who he is. He forgets what he's worth. He forgets that he's still wanted. And in that moment, Borei Olam does what a father does. He leaves the water. He walks the stairs. He whispers without words, I haven't left you. And when that child finally lifts his head, when he says, if you haven't given up on me, then neither has Borei Olam, a door swings open in Shemayim, not because he earned it, but because he belonged there all along. And that's the essence of our people. We are not just the nation who believes in Hashem Yitbarach. We are the nation Hashem Yitbarach believes in, even when we don't believe in ourselves. That's not just emunah. That's not just love. That is Mika Amcha Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.